What happens when a global superstar unexpectedly pushes back on a question she clearly didn't see coming during a tense moment on live TV? Make sure to subscribe to the Echo Scoop, and like and comment for more talk show coverage. Audience chatter slowly settles as the cameras go live, the studio lights brighten, and the panel gets seated. A brief applause rolls through the room before fading out. The energy in the room is polite, not electric, at least not yet. No one in the audience has any idea that in a few minutes, things are going to shift dramatically. "All right," Joy says, adjusting her note cards and looking toward the center seat, her signature tone sharp but casual. "Let's jump right in. Our guest today needs no introduction, the one and only Taylor Swift." The audience erupts. People stand, clap, cheer, even whistle. Taylor smiles, waves, and leans in as the applause finally begins to settle. Joy nods, half smiling, like she already has a roadmap in her head about where she wants this conversation to go. "Taylor, thanks for being here," Joy says. "Thanks for having me," Taylor replies with a polite, composed smile. Sunny jumps in almost immediately. "There's a lot going on in your world right now. Music, touring, the NFL conversations, everything. You've been everywhere lately." Taylor laughs lightly. "I've been busy, yeah." The panel laughs with her. Everything feels smooth, normal, friendly. But Joy is restless. She glances at her card again, looks up, and locks her eyes on Taylor with that familiar mix of curiosity and provocation. "So," Joy says, "let's get straight to something a lot of people have been talking about. And you know I have to ask this." Right then, the audience gives a small, "oh," sensing tension building. Taylor shifts slightly in her seat. Not defensive, but attentive. Joy continues, "You've been very vocal lately, and some folks are saying that you've started influencing people politically in a way that might be, let's just say, a little heavy-handed. Do you think that's fair?" There's a noticeable shift. A subtle hush. The audience freezes a little, not hostile, just surprised Joy jumped there so quickly. Taylor blinks once, then exhales slowly. I share my opinions like anyone else," she says calmly. "I don't tell people what to think." Joy leans forward. "But isn't it true that when you speak, millions follow? Don't you think that kind of influence can get, I don't know, complicated?" Sarah tries to lighten the moment, raising a hand slightly. "Joy, she just got here," she jokes. The audience laughs softly, grateful for the break in tension. But Joy doesn't budge. "No, but it's a serious question." Taylor looks directly at her now, not aggressive, not smiling, just controlled. "Well," Taylor says slowly, "I think it becomes complicated when people twist what I say into something it isn't." The audience reacts, a ripple of mm and a few soft claps. Joy presses, "I'm not twisting anything. I'm asking what a lot of people want to know." "Joy," Taylor cuts in, her voice firmer, "you're doing exactly that. You're framing it as if I'm out here trying to control people." Audible reaction from the crowd, "Ooh-hoo." Sunny leans back, eyes wide. Anna whispers, "Oh boy," under her breath, loud enough for her mic to pick it up. Sarah's eyebrows fly up. She looks between them like she's watching a tennis match. Joy tightens her jaw slightly. "I'm asking a question, Taylor. It's my job. And I'm answering it," Taylor replies calmly but with unmistakable steel. "But I'm not going to let you put words in my mouth on live television." The studio audience bursts into quick applause. Shocked, supportive, energized. Joy smirks like she's amused, but her eyes sharpen. "Nobody's putting words in your mouth." Taylor tilts her head. "You literally suggested I'm influencing people in a dangerous way." "I said complicated," Joy counters. "Complicated doesn't mean dangerous," Taylor fires back instantly. The timing is tight, natural, unscripted. Exactly the kind of real-time verbal sparring that makes viewers sit up straight. Sunny tries stepping in. Okay, let's." Joy lifts a hand, signaling she's not done. "Taylor, the reason I asked." Taylor interrupts softly but firmly, "You asked because it makes good TV." The audience gasps, loud, unified, surprised. Some clap. Some laugh nervously. Some shout, "Woo!" from the back. Joy actually freezes for half a second, which almost never happens. She attempts to regain footing. "Everything we do here is TV, sweetheart." Taylor nods. "Exactly. And that's why I'm clarifying." Joy opens her mouth to respond, but Sunny jumps in before things escalate further. "I think what Taylor's saying is important. Celebrities have voices, but that doesn't automatically turn them into political machines." Taylor nods appreciatively. "Right. I'm an artist. I talk about things that matter to me. People can agree or disagree." Anna adds, "And isn't that what this country is supposed to be about?" The audience cheers. Joy crosses her arms. "Well, okay, But you must admit you know the weight your words carry. Taylor responds, steady and firm, I know the weight of honesty. I don't control how people use it. Once again, the audience erupts, clapping, cheering, reacting with full energy now. The tension hasn't broken, it has transformed into a charged, gripping live TV moment. Joy sighs, shaking her head lightly. You've gotten a lot more fiery, she says, almost teasing. Taylor shrugs lightly. I've gotten a lot more tired of being misrepresented. Another big audience reaction. This one loud and approving. Sarah quietly mutters, wow, into her mic, and some audience members laugh. Sunny leans forward again, trying gently to move the conversation. Let's broaden this. Taylor, when you speak about issues, what's your intention behind it? Taylor answers without hesitation. My intention is to be human. To show people they're not alone. The audience softens, clapping warmly. Joy glances at Taylor, then at the audience, noticing the shift in energy. Her expression is unreadable, part annoyed, part impressed. But she tries one more time. But do you ever worry? Taylor stops her with a small smile and a raised eyebrow. Joy, you really want me to slip today, don't you? The studio explodes with laughter. Even Sunny covers her mouth, trying not to laugh too loudly. Joy raises her hands in mock surrender. I'm just doing my job. Taylor smirks. And I'm just protecting my voice. The audience applauds again, louder this time, energized by the dynamic unfolding on stage. The tension remains thick, the chemistry chaotic but riveting. Everyone on the panel feels it, the crackle of a moment spiraling into something unforgettable and unscripted. And as the camera slowly zooms toward the table, the hosts' voices overlap slightly, trying to regain flow, but the lingering electricity between Taylor and Joy has taken over the room. The audience is still buzzing when the show comes back from a quick reaction pause. The energy hasn't dipped, it's actually risen. People are whispering, leaning forward in their seats, waiting to see where things will go next. Sunny tries to steady the room. Okay, let's take a breath for a second. But Joy jumps right back in before anyone can fully reset. I just want to say, she begins, her tone clipped but steady, I'm not attacking you. I'm asking questions that everybody is asking out there. Taylor nods slowly, hands folded on the table. And I'm answering them. But there's a difference between curiosity and framing something in a way that creates a narrative. The audience murmurs again, not dramatic, but enough to signal they're still hooked. Sarah leans in, trying to calm the situation. Joy does this to all of us, she jokes lightheartedly. No one escapes. The crowd laughs, easing a bit of tension, but Joy stays locked in. Well, Joy says, when someone has your level of influence, it would be irresponsible not to ask. Taylor lifts her eyes. Influence is not the same thing as control. Joy fires back, but it can feel like control when millions follow your every move. Taylor's answer comes instantly, like she's done explaining this before. People follow me because they relate to me, not because I'm holding a megaphone telling them what to believe. The audience claps again, short but sharp, a clear reaction. Anna jumps in now, raising her voice slightly so she doesn't get drowned out. Can we talk about how impossible it is to exist as a public figure without people assigning motives you never had? Taylor gestures toward her lightly. Exactly. Everything gets amplified. Everything gets dissected. Joy sighs but doesn't break eye contact. I just think, when you speak, it carries consequences. And so does misrepresenting someone, Taylor replies calmly. The room reacts again, a wave of MMM, and some nodding heads in the audience. Sunny tries to redirect, sensing the tension climbing again. Let's broaden this a bit. Taylor, do you feel like the pressure on you has gotten heavier recently? Taylor lets out a small breath. Honestly? Yes. Because the bigger your platform gets, the more people try to shape your words into their own headlines. Joy mutters, that's how media works. And that's the problem, Taylor says, firm but not sharp. Artists aren't politicians. We're allowed to have opinions without being turned into a symbol for something we never signed up for. The audience applauds loudly. Someone shouts, tell em, from the back, getting laughs from the panel. Joy raises a brow. But you do talk about issues. I talk about life, Taylor counters. Issues are part of life. Sarah nods, there's nothing wrong with being a human being in public. Joy shakes her head lightly but doesn't argue that point. Taylor softens slightly. I'm not here to preach. I'm here to express what I feel. If that connects with people, great. If they disagree, that's fine too. Anna smiles. See, that sounds reasonable. The audience claps again. More calm this time, supportive. But the tension between Taylor and Joy isn't gone. It's simmering, sitting right at the edge of another moment, waiting to spill again. Joy looks down at her card, then back at Taylor. So you're saying people misunderstood you? Taylor tilts her head just slightly. I'm saying people sometimes want to misunderstand me. The entire room freezes, even the hosts. The crowd reacts in a stunned wave. Sunny whispers, "Oh my God." And just like that, the panel realizes. This conversation isn't over. Not even close. The room holds its breath for a moment after Taylor's last line. Even the camera operators seem slower, steadier, like they don't want to miss a single twitch on anyone's face. Joy shifts in her chair, adjusting her glasses, but her expression stays sharp. People want to misunderstand you? Joy repeats, her tone controlled but edged. That's a pretty strong accusation. Taylor stays steady. It's not an accusation. It's an observation. The audience reacts with a soft ripple, a few murmurs rolling through the seats. Sunny leans forward, trying to cool the temperature. Let's unpack that a little. What do you mean by want to misunderstand? Taylor glances at Sunny appreciatively before turning back to Joy. Some people already have a narrative in their head about who I am. Everything I say gets filtered through that lens. So even when I'm clear, they twist it to fit what they already believe. Joy folds her arms. You're talking about media. Media, Taylor says, and people who use media to drive their own stories. The audience lets out a loud, "Ahm-ham," clearly invested. Sarah lifts her eyebrows like she's impressed Taylor's going there openly. Anna speaks next. I think everyone at this table has been misrepresented at some point. It's exhausting. Joy shrugs. Sure, but that doesn't mean every question is an attack. Taylor nods. And I never said it was. I said people twist things. There's a difference. Joy straightens, almost surprised by how composed Taylor is staying. So when I ask a question, Taylor cuts in gently but firmly. Joy, it's not the question. It's the framing. When you imply that I'm influencing people in a way that's complicated, you're planting an idea without saying it directly. The audience reacts again, louder this time. Someone claps, someone shouts, "Exactly." And a few people laugh in disbelief at how openly the conversation is unfolding. Joy gives a tight smile. That's interpretation. That's technique, Taylor responds. Even Sunny's jaw drops slightly. Anna leans back in her chair, hand over her mouth as if she's trying not to laugh at the tension. Sarah finally jumps in. Okay, this is a lot of heat for daytime TV. The audience laughs, relieved to get a moment of levity, but the tension doesn't fully break. Taylor takes a small sip of water and places the glass back carefully. Joy presses again. Look, Taylor, you're extremely intelligent. You know how the world works. If you speak on something, it will influence people. Taylor nods slowly. Yes. But influencing someone by existing authentically is different from manipulating them. Sunny raises her hand slightly. That's a good distinction. Joy doesn't flinch. But you have to acknowledge the responsibility that comes with your platform. Taylor leans forward just a little, her tone steady. I do. Every single day. But responsibility doesn't mean muzzling myself so people don't twist things. The audience claps loudly, some even stand for a brief second before sitting back down. Joy watches her, eyes narrowed but thoughtful now. So your message to critics is, what? Taylor doesn't miss a beat. Listen to what I actually say, not what someone wants you to think I said. The audience erupts. Applause, cheers, whistles. Sarah shakes her head like she's witnessing something unreal. Anna fans herself dramatically, making the crowd laugh even more. Sunny adds quietly, this is definitely going to be trending by the end of the day. Taylor gives a small, knowing smile. I'm sure it will. Joy sits back, finally taking a moment to reassess, but the tension isn't finished. There's another wave coming, everyone can feel it building under the surface. And as the camera zooms slightly, capturing the tight expressions across the table, it becomes clear that this conversation is far from done. The applause from the previous exchange fades slightly, but the energy in the studio remains electric. Audience members are leaning forward in their seats, talking among themselves, whispers mixing with laughter and occasional gasps. The camera pans slowly across the crowd, catching reactions. Some people clapping, some shaking their heads in disbelief, some smiling at the sheer audacity of the exchange. Joy clears her throat, adjusting her papers, a slight smile breaking through her usual composed mask. All right, Taylor, let's take a step back. I think what you're saying is important. It's about perception, responsibility, and how words get interpreted. Her tone has softened, almost reflective. Taylor nods. Exactly. I just want people to hear what I actually say, not what someone else interprets it to be. It's frustrating, but I also understand the environment I'm in. Her voice is calm, genuine, yet carries the weight of everything discussed so far. Sarah leans forward, a smile playing on her lips. I think viewers at home are going to appreciate this honesty. It's rare to see a celebrity so openly articulate their side without playing games. Anna adds, and it's also a lesson in media literacy. Pay attention to the source, context, and intent. Not every headline tells the truth. The audience claps again, this time warmly, with appreciation rather than tension. Some audience members shout, yes. And, finally, the room buzzing with excitement. Taylor smiles, acknowledging the crowd, her posture relaxed now, though the intensity of the earlier exchange hasn't disappeared entirely. Joy leans back, perhaps considering the points made, or maybe simply absorbing the reaction from everyone present. As the camera cuts to a wide shot of the studio, the social media team is already live-streaming snippets of the conversation. Within minutes, hashtags start trending. Hashtag #TaylorSnapsLive starts climbing the charts. Clips of her calm but firm responses are circulating rapidly. People on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok are debating every nuance. Some defending Taylor, some debating Joy's questions, others dissecting the tension and delivery. Reaction videos start to emerge immediately, commentary flooding in from fans and critics alike. The panel watches some of the notifications come in on their phones, the impact of this conversation extending far beyond the studio walls. Back in the studio, Joy speaks again, this time with a lighter tone. Well, Taylor, you've certainly made today unforgettable. I'm sure people are going to be talking about this for a long time. Taylor laughs softly, a real, unguarded smile. I hope they listen carefully too. She glances at the audience, acknowledging their energy and attention, and then at the panel, nodding respectfully. Thank you for the conversation. Sarah leans in for a final word. And thank you for showing us that you can handle tough questions, challenge assumptions, and still remain genuine. That's rare. The camera pans back one final time across the applauding audience, capturing the chatter, the smiles, the disbelief, the enthusiasm. The live experience is ending, but the story is just beginning to ripple across the internet. Social media continues to light up. Fans reacting, clips circulating, opinion threads forming, memes emerging, and news outlets picking up the conversation for analysis and headlines. As the segment wraps, the hosts gather for a brief outro. Joy turns to the camera with a hint of a smile. Viewers, you've seen it live. Share your opinion in the comments and subscribe to the Echo Scoop for more real talk show stories. The audience cheers one last time, clapping as the screen fades to the next segment. The moment has ended in the studio, but the impact continues. Viewers at home are debating, sharing, and reacting. Clips are being replayed across platforms. This is exactly the kind of authentic, intense, unfiltered conversation that makes talk shows feel alive and keeps audiences coming back for more.